Is it live? Yes. I've just saw the question in general. Does the game have look-in version? Uh, it doesn't, but I could add it in the next update. Hello, Real Smurf and DJ. And okay, that's a complicated username. K Pride Home. So I'm probably completely mispronouncing that. I apologise. Starch Vulgasaur. To the next update, so you'll be happy. Testing out tail clouds and XQN XYZ. Hello there. So these usernames aren't easy to pronounce, sometimes close to a random string of characters. So I haven't had a chance to really have like creative control over the tail clouds. What I did was fed a bunch of reference images. So thank you for people who posted on the Game Suggestions channel. I had Codex propose multiple different ways of implementing them. I then chose the options which I thought seemed the most reasonable. So I haven't seen it yet, so you'll all be seeing it at the same time as me. If they look rubbish, I'll go back to the editor and we'll try something else. But that's what we're going to be testing out today. I've also done improvements to the wall clouds. They were coming way too close to the ground. The funnel was cutting through them. So it should be hopefully improved wall clouds and a tail cloud added on as well. Before you buy the game, to have Y-axis look-in version. It doesn't, but I can try and add that in the next update. So that'll be a day or two. I could add it to the. So we've got the controller options here. So right now we've got camera sensitivity, but I could easily add just like look-in version enabled, disabled here if you'd like. Kyle's your first name. Okay, yeah, I'll just go with Kyle if that's if that's okay. I do apologise. Or if you can come up with the phonetic spelling of how to pronounce your last name, that's not a last name I've come across before. Reflectivity. That look. I don't know if it's an optical illusion, but it looks like it's coming this way anyway. So let's look west. That's south. Oh, so I'm already facing west. So the wall cloud should show up somewhere over here. Bad looking version I'll buy right now. So let's do it this way. If there is an issue with the tail clouds and I have to go back into the editor anyway, I'll quickly add look-in version then. So I do appreciate you being willing to buy it. It's just the stream tends to lose momentum when I go back into the editor, so I want to try and avoid going back there if I can, but I can quickly try and add it offline. But yeah, I think that was an option in the 2023 version. But yeah, we do need to add it. Yeah, when I first started playing Xbox back in the day when Halo was all the rage, I was used to look-in version, so like down for up and up for down. That's what I got used to for a while. And then I kept trying to switch between the two, and then I ended up being really bad at the game because I kept forgetting which setting I had it on. See, has that got a tail feeding into it yet? The Beard. Are you a fan of the band called The Beards? Favorite songs is Beard Accessory Store. I've heard Eddie Howe left Newcastle. I'm sad to admit that I don't follow Newcastle very much. Like Newcastle United, I'm not a massive football person. Don't want to be like a downer or anything. Just football's been one of those things I've tried to follow, and it's just never quite stuck. It's going to be a path of destruction. That was one of the things I was thinking about next, actually. Now that the vegetation's working reliably, I can cut a notch out, maybe. There's a couple ways we can do it. I think the vegetation's rendered in, like, a grid. So what I'm worried about is if the tornado goes through and we just remove the vegetation, that you get lots of, like, essentially blocks and, like, right angles, which wouldn't look natural at all. Is this thing moving towards us or away from us? Oh, there's a town all the way down there that's heading straight towards. Oh, here comes the tornado. Oh yeah, I should probably not been chatting this whole time and actually making a plan. It'll be useful if we're on that road below us. Let's just go, can we do a J-turn over the top of this? Oh, come on. Come on, reverse. Okay, I'll hit the R key. There we go. There we go. Nailed it. You see the tail cloud? The beard isn't a bad band, yeah. When the tornado touches the vegetation, it disappears. Yeah, I could do that and then see if I can get something that looks more organic. It may not do that either. I'm just assuming it might. It would probably be worth checking. And then also either render a texture on top of the terrain. I don't think I can change the terrain texturing because I use like procedural generation for the terrain, so it doesn't look. It's not the same tile texture everywhere. How are we going to catch up with this thing? Okay, off-roading it is. We're going to have to go off-road to here. I think there's a tail cloud on the opposite side of the tornado, so we can't quite see it. Oh, thank you. I appreciate the purchase. I will add look and version either tonight if we need to go back to the editor for any reason, or I'll package in the next. I usually try and release an update every night, every other night. Like I try and release a few a week. I try and keep it updated often, so people. The game went through a period of very little development while I was rebuilding this. So I guess it would be more a case of not that there was no development, but there was no real updates posted. Wow, that thing is moving. So which chemicals do we need? If it's moving really quick, we need temperature to slow it down. So let's just go data. We'll change the default from wind to temperature, and we'll try and get within range so that the chemicals get pulled into the tornado. It's starting to go somewhat rain wrapped. Will there be modding support? So I think the next thing, I need to add Steam Workshop support for scenarios and actually make an in-game scenario editor. I think that's going to be the next Steam Workshop thing, and then I think vehicles and probes will be next. I'm not sure if I'm going to do moddable tiles. I think that'll, like terrain tiles, I think that'll open up the game to too many game-breaking issues. I think we need to turn left here. Let's turn left and then second right. Let's try and catch up with this thing. Oh yeah, I definitely want to add multiplayer. I was thinking of doing that possibly. So I've been thinking it's going to take a year or so to add multiplayer, but I was asking Codex. It was actually saying I could get basic multiplayer with like 4 players, single host, no joining mid-match. So like essentially you'd choose your group of friends or join a live lobby and then play. It said 5 to 8 weeks, which is a lot quicker than what I was expecting. But twins added, like, one storm spawns 2 tornadoes. I think I'll do satellites next. The problem with having multiple tornadoes in the same volume is that you can't blend the volumes, and you've got to add logic as to which one renders first. And then as you drive around the map, that needs to change, which means you need to keep checking which tornado's closest, and then like switching the volumes around, which means it causes like a visual flicker. So it's doable. It's whether it would look good is the question. Right, I'm just outside. Once I get into that F1, once we get up to 73 miles per hour, that F1 range, I think it's going to go off the map before we even get a chance. Let's at least try and get some progress on the chemicals before this thing ropes out. Yeah, that thing was really moving across the map. Right, come on, move out the way, tree. Okay, let's go off map for a little bit. Let's try and get some chemicals into this thing. There we go. I'm not sure how close we are to the proper edge of the map. 120 miles an hour. I've upgraded the aerodynamic coating so our truck isn't too affected by it. Can we add the first set of temperature chemicals? Oh, I think is that it roped out? Let's get back on the map. How much progress did we make towards it? 90%, that's not bad. So on the next one, we should be able to slow it down quite quickly initially. I guess the issue with VR is everything has to be rendered twice from slightly different angles. And my GPU already works hard enough just to do a single render pass. Even doing a second one, so look, if I enable the probe camera, you can see how laggy the game gets, and that's just a low quality. So it's like 320 by 240 with some post-processing to make it look like a VHS image, rendered at 15 frames a second, and the game's still very laggy, and that's on a RTX 4070. Oh yeah, I can see the tail cloud there. It's just above that wind turbine on the right. So we'll wait till that one dies. I'll catch up on the comments while we wait for the next one. Unless this is the next one. No, that's not. Velocity's off the map, which means we're waiting for a new tornado. On the Steam page it says it has no controller support but plays with your PlayStation. Ah yes, I should probably update that. See, it has partial controller support, at least. And I need to add it so the logic for scrolling through the menus here, I just essentially need to add that to these other menus. Yeah, so it isn't actually very far from full controller support. Right. Oh wait, I'm heading south. I want to be heading north. For some reason, I'm like 180 degrees turned around from where I think I'm facing in the game. Right, let's head north. Because the next storm will probably spawn somewhere, well, actually, at max level, so it can spawn quite far from us. But it'll still be somewhat in our vicinity. So let's just go for it. Let's just go somewhere like up here. So at least we're ahead of the storm. Wherever it spawns around us, it's still going to track generally towards the middle of the map. Rain effects on the ground. Ah, yes. So the vegetation rendering, terrain rendering stuff already have options for that. It's an extra layer of logic I've got to add in. So it already adjusts the particle effects, like the rain that you see, based on how much precipitation is at your location on the map. So I think if there's an easy way to wire it in, then yeah, I can add that as well. I can increase the smoothness on the textures on the roads as well. If there's just been rain there, or if there currently is rain there. So I make this game by myself. Yes, but I have had help. So I programmed the first version by myself because that was like pre-ChatGPT and like AI coding agents. This game I programmed 80-90% by myself, and then I've used AI coding to probably extend that another 30-40%, like the functionality that I did. Then I've had help from Rainbow Does Stuff in terms of modeling the tornadic winds realistically. So the debris flight's very realistic, and the wind fields are very realistic. So thank Rainbow for that. And then, both in the previous version of the game, I've had people offer free 3D models like the laptop. So yeah, I've had a lot of help and support from the community as well. But in terms of the coding, I'm the only one doing the coding in the game right now. Right, we've got our next storm going up, so let's think ahead and try and get ahead of it. So it's here, so it's probably going to head north, so the best thing we can do is just get north as quickly as possible. I think we'll go east first, and then take this nice long north road up towards these towns as well, in case we need to warn them. So yeah, let's go east. And then, where's the north road? It's the one after the cornfield. Yeah, so turn left after the cornfield. Arroway face on the map. Yeah, I should do that. That's been on my to-do list for months, and I've just never got around to doing it. It's like there's always trade-offs as to which features to implement next. So it's like things like what I said, like controller sensitivity, mouse sensitivity, look inversion, things like that. There's small features like that, which are helpful, and then there's major features like how the tornadoes are rendered, add multi-vortex. So excuse me 1 minute, I can hear my daughter knocking at the door. Okay, sorry about that, I'm back now. My daughter's just got chicken pox. She's just saying they were sore. So just give her a cuddle, pop her back down into bed. Right, oh, just in time. There's some heavy rain wrapping around there. Make chemical progress based off how a tornado reacts to it. I already did that on the... Oh, so the reaction is based on the tornado strength. So what I do is I do the reaction based on the strength of the atmosphere. So if you've got a high Cape, high helicity day like this one, it'll react well. I've made the reaction more of a atmospheric thing rather than a per tornado thing. Each tornado will respond differently, but how much it responds depends on the atmosphere. Right, we've got like a proper bear's cage in here. Precipitation curtains wrapping right around. Visibility isn't very... Whoa! Are there any towns we need to warn? Probably just this one. just this one town we're going towards. Let's try and get ahead of it though. We'll always have a much better chase if I can get ahead of the tornado before it touches down. Small red dot for the player as well. Yeah, that'd be handy, especially if I add the cow riding logic, because you could potentially ride a cow miles from your car, and you might want to know where it is to get back to it. Especially if you get picked up by the tornado and ride the cow through the air for several miles. Alright, let's warn this town. Yes, the dev for Severity. I just saw a trailer come up on, I think I was scrolling through TikTok. It's looking really good. I'm not a Roblox player myself, but what they've managed to achieve inside with the limitations of the Roblox engines, extremely impressive. The Neanderthal Tyrant. Bought your game recently, doing an amazing job. Looking forward to when multiplayer comes out in the future. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying the game. I've been trying to update it frequently. Like, I did go through a slow period back in tail end of 2023, most of 2024. But yeah, I'm back doing updates as much as I can. I'm happy to hear that you're enjoying the game. Wow, this is going to be a really rain-wrapped tornado. Oh look, it's coming. Good thing we warned the town. Look, it's coming straight for us. According to the map, there's something touched down. Can we see the tail cloud? There's so much precipitation wrapping around that it's hard to distinguish what's precipitation and what's cloud. I see a lot. I don't know if it's showing up on the stream very well because of the video compression, but it's really twisting right around there where the reticle is. Just do the chemicals to speed up the tornado formation. So, maybe not the chemicals, but naturally, the way I've added the logic is the tornado responds to the environment, so it will form faster in a high cape environment anyway. Yeah, I do need better sirens in the game. These look like, this would look good in like a Nintendo 64. It just looks so out of place. Like, you've got really high quality textures for like the grass and the vegetation, and the road and the truck and the trailers, and then you just got like this yellow oversized blob of a siren. I can hear a roar. Can you hear the roaring? Where is it? Oh, it's still not fully condensed yet. Check on shadows. Yeah, got high res shadows. Right, let's stay ahead of it. Oh, okay, there's like a strip of 3 towns right next to each other. Let's get ahead of this thing. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, it was called Twister Research and Rescue initially, and then one of the devs of Outbreak pointed out that it may be seen as like an unauthorized like version of the game claiming to be related to the movie Twister. I may want to think about in case there's like lawsuits and things. Like, yeah, I was like, that's a good point. I was like, let's not risk the game based on a single word. So yeah, trying to come up with lots of different alternatives. I think it was my wife actually who suggested Tornado Research and Rescue, and then I think I had a vote on the. Did I have a vote? I may be making up. I do apologise if I'm making up memories here. It was 3 years ago. I think I suggested like 3 or 4 possible names and had a vote on the server, and Tornado Research and Rescue is the one which won. We can barely see the tornado against the precipitation in the background. Look, got precipitation wrapping. We can barely see the water towers just over there. Right, I should probably stop chatting and get warning. Come on, stop. Stop. Might as well get a photo. And I'll get a screenshot, because it's just useful to have screenshots for streams. For stream thumbnails. Yeah, every stream I have a thumbnail of, it's an image from a previous stream. It's never an image from that actual stream. Window. Did that work? Hello, Neon. Right, let's start thinking about... We've won the towns. Let's start thinking about an intercept. Yeah, we need to be going this way. I can hear things breaking. I don't know if it's coming through on the stream audio, but I can hear in the distant shattering and smashing of glass. Let me just get onto the paved road. Okay, we're saving lives. Always a good thing to save lives. Not sure if we need the headlights. I've adjusted the lighting enough in the game that I don't feel like we need the headlights all the time. Have cities in the game? I don't think I'd go as far as like skyscrapers and things. I do have an industrial building pack and like a suburban home pack, so I am going to have more densely populated areas than what we've got here, but I probably wouldn't go as far as like, I don't know, something like New York or something where you've got like hundreds of buildings and tall skyscrapers, because I just think the destruction physics would just make the game unplayable. You'd probably be getting like 2 or 3 frames per second, even on a really high-end machine. Unless I made skyscrapers like one single block that gets lifted into the tornado, or only made like windows shatter. Right. Not doing well in progress. In terms of chemical progress, have we released any chemicals yet? No, we're still stuck at 90%. Like, I'm going to just drive straight at this thing. That town's somewhat at risk, but not really. Only if it widens to like a mile. I'm not sure if I'm going to punch right through this thing, so I can see there's F5 wind speeds inside. But I do want to be close enough that the probe starts releasing chemicals. Come on, let's try and slow this thing down. Okay, we've slowed the ground speed down 12%. Let's keep going. I think if we're fast, we can get another intercept along here, but we're going to have to be really, really fast. Was it this left? No, it's the next left. Come on, keep going, keep going. How are we doing on speed? 100 miles an hour? This doesn't even feel like 100 miles an hour. Whoa. So it's my bad. I just randomly jabbed the left thumbstick in a random direction there, and it made me spin out of control. Barely see that thing. This is looking good for a stream thumbnail as well, though. Let's do that. Get the hood back. Right, this is going to be close. So we'll do the usual thing. I'll get quick deploy ready and deploy right when in the right spot. And 3, 2, 1, deploy. Right, hopefully we don't get picked up here. Oh, that was close. Alright, is it heading towards any towns? No, it's heading towards the edge of the map, but we're getting this one slowed down, which means the next tornado will inherit those chemicals, because the chemicals affect the entire atmosphere, not just the tornado. Oh great, a hunt. Right. If that had happened a few seconds earlier, I could have took that very convenient left road. Now instead, we're going to have to take that dirt road. This thing is catching quickly. Well, quick recall, quick deploy. Right, I need to take this left. Come on, go, go, go. Where is it? Right, after this, the map runs out. We'll pretty much have to... no, actually, we're going to go right. We're going to go right and then left so we can use the motorway. Where is it? It is right on us. Okay, still slowing the ground speed down though. It's got to change direction. kind of like when you run away from a crocodile, apparently you got to keep changing direction. Okay, we've got a nice long north road here. I can turn north just at the edge of the map here, and hopefully it stops hunting before then, otherwise I'm not sure what to do. That is right on our tail. Right, come on, and drift. Alright, put the foot down. Right, we're going to say quick recall, quick deploy. Oh, I think it's going to catch us. Come on. Look at that on the map. We're in the outer wind field, 170 mile an hour winds. Good thing our trucks are very slippery. Right, I'm kind of running out of space here. It needs to stop hunting. Only option really is going off-road. So I don't want to cheat by going off map, so if we get to the forest that hasn't stopped hunting, we're going to have to try and dodge through the trees and go off-road. Come on, please stop hunting. Right, let's just lights on so I can see trees first person. We're going to have to just like dodge through these trees. Go. I think it's going to catch us. Come on, please stop hunting. Actually, we're in the middle of it. We can survive as long as we're in the middle. Alright, let's just stay in the middle and we're fine. So it looks like inside the tornado, I am losing health because the wind speed's quite high. But this is what it's like inside. We just need to avoid all this debris. Okay, it stopped hunting. We just need to... and just see stuff flying around outside. We're actually safer at the centre of the funnel than we are at the edge. I just heard some power lines go down. Just heard some electric. Oh, let's stay away from that spinning blade of death. We somehow survived that. Wait, quick recall. Oh, we missed out on a perfect opportunity to seed it with a load of chemicals there. I need to get back into the 73 mile... Is it 72 or 73 where F1 starts? I think it's 73. Right, let's just try and make a bit more progress towards... There we go. So this one's slowed down by 40%, which means the next tornado will hopefully be a lot slower and we can get a lot more intercepts on it. If I had a dev team on this game, would you plan more ambitiously and what would I plan? Yeah, so I think in terms of the programming side, it's not so much programming which is the challenge right now, but the modelling of things, so adding new tiles, making the distribution of the vegetation look a bit more, I don't know, polished, a bit more realistic. I think what I'd need is like a level designer, graphics designer, like VFX graphics, that sort of thing. I could definitely be a lot more ambitious with it. Maybe additional dev to get multiplayer done more quickly. What's a tail cloud? So you've got your tornado here, and that descends down out of the wall cloud. A tail cloud is a cloud which continuously feeds into the wall cloud. It's not very visible right now, mainly because there's a lot of precipitation wrapping, so it's difficult to tell what bit's the tail cloud and what bit's the wall cloud. It looks like May 3rd of 1999, yeah. And if you want to play that scenario, I don't know if you know that scenario is built into the game. If you go on scenario mode, there's 4 scenarios. One's a drill bit test, which I accidentally published. It doesn't actually spawn any drill bits, so sorry for any disappointment there. There's also the Mega Wedge test, which just showcases how wide the tornadoes can get in the game. Then there's Bridge Creek Moor, 1999, and there's the Jarrell Texas, 1997. tornado. So I've tried to recreate the paths as accurately as I could. And I've also got a half-edited video of different news footage and VHS tape all synchronized with the game. I should probably just go ahead and publish that. I just don't know what it... I need to look at copyright, whether I can use... whether it's classed as like creative... what's it called? Like... what's it called? Not Creative Commons. What's that thing where it's like... you're allowed to use it because it's for like a creative pursuit and you've added your own value to it and it's not just a straight repost. Increase the progress on each chemical based on how much the tornado is affected by that. That's a bit difficult to do because I'm just thinking the reason you want to release chemicals is to try and do a little bit of research and discover what the tornado reacts to. So if the progress bar goes up quickly, that kind of already reveals that before you've even got the first chemical release. Also, each time you do a chemical release, it is kind of randomized, so it may do one, so you may release, like I've just did, like the temperature chemicals, and it may only respond, say, 2% on the first one, and then on the next one it may be 50%. Like, the range of possible values of how it can react varies by a random amount. So it would be hard to capture that behavior on the progress bar. I think it would be a bit too much of a giveaway. Right, I won't make the mistake of last time of just waiting at the very edge of the map and then having miles to drive to catch up to the storm. Let's get somewhere nice where we can quickly get to other parts of the map. I think maybe somewhere like here next to this big forest. So I just need to take the next right and follow the road around. So we'll just wait for that to... oh, you can see a little bit of the tail cloud there from a distance. Oops, I forgot, I've missed my turn. I can still take the next right and get to a similar location, so let's just do that. Brake, brake, brake. So how many releases of the temperature chemical did we get there? 4, and we're 36% of the way to the 5th one. So next tornado to spawn should have a lower ground speed again, which means we can slow it even more, and then we can start putting the interesting chemicals in. One thing I was considering actually was implementing conservation of angular momentum in the tornado funnel. So what by that I mean, if you, let's say you polarize the pressure chemical, which means it decreases the width. If you decrease the width without decreasing the wind speed, it means that the rotational speed would actually increase. I would have to nerf it a little bit, because if I did the calculation exactly, what would happen is you'd very quickly be creating like F20 tornadoes. So it wouldn't be the exact conservation of angular momentum, but enough so that you'd have to think strategically about whether you want to try and weaken the tornado. So let's say it's heading towards a town. Do you make the tornado narrower but stronger in hopes that the narrower tornado will miss? Or do you make it weaker first but have it wider so it's more likely to hit, but it'll do less damage if it hits? Oh, we've got our next storm coming up. Right, let's go, go, go. Will bunkers ever be added? Oh yes, see, I keep remembering things while I'm streaming. Then by the time I actually get to updating the Trello board, I've forgotten the suggestions. What I need to do is go back through the chat replay and look at all the suggestions. Yes, bunkers and also drones. I was going to mention, I do want to add like a 90s drone with like a VHS camera that you can fly. The drifter from the hours 7073. Hello. Drifter, does that mean you could do, you'd be like an expert at like doing a power slide around the corner like this? Right, I'll stop faffing about. Let's get tornado tracks on. Velocity. Oh wow, that's really far away. I think south's our best bet. Let's head south and then try and get west, because it's probably going to be heading south, right? South, 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 south. Come on, keep going. Even 110 miles an hour feels slow just because the map's so big. I was thinking as well, the career mode map is 30 kilometers by 30 kilometers. I was thinking of possibly bumping that up to 40 by 40, just because the map generation's a lot quicker now. How can I get over there? I think we'll just follow this road around. Whoops. Details to the effect when the lightning hits the ground. So we were discussing this on a previous stream that I'm currently using like a third party asset for. By that I mean like it's an asset not created by myself for lightning, which doesn't give me full creative control over them. But yeah, there should be a way, because I know I'm not using this one, but there is what's it called? Unistorm. I think that's the one that Storm Chasers uses for the environment. But Unistorm, it did allow like you to render like little fires wherever the lightning struck, so that definitely is a way of doing it. I just need to figure out how to best do it for the Enviro Sky and Weather asset, which is the one I use. Which way is this moving? Okay, it looks like I'd say south-southwest if I had to guess. So we're moving south-southwest. I think I'm going to take, it's a slow road, but it's a direct road to get us much closer to the tornado. So let's just go for that. You know what, I'm just going to off-road. I can see the road there. I was thinking of going around like that. But you know what, it's off-road. Let's just go directly towards it. Night vision at night. So we've had a few ideas about the camera. Like we've got our VHS camera. Then we're also talking about the possibility of integrating it with the Steam screenshot support, which wouldn't add any VHS effects. Then have a night vision. Yeah, I think I need to have a way of like effectively changing lenses on the camera. Does left and right? Maybe use like D. So you currently use D-pad up to toggle VHS mode. Maybe have D-pad left and right to switch lenses, which would effectively be the post-processing on it. And then it's still right thumbstick to actually take a photo. Like you click your right thumbstick to take a photo. Wow, the tornado's touched down quick. That's got a massive dust cloud underneath it, massive debris cloud. One thing I'm trying to figure out, I remember once this would have been probably late 90s, possibly early 2000s. There was a tornado documentary I saw advertised on TV, and I remember seeing the footage and it was like, wow, this looks amazing, and I really wanted it to be recorded. This was back in the day, you'd have to record it on a VHS tape. And I can't remember exactly why, but it either couldn't be or didn't get recorded. But now everything's archived online. You've literally got like archive.org and things like that. I wonder if there's any way of me figuring out what it was. Because all I can remember is that it didn't get recorded, and I remember being impressed, but I can't remember any of the footage. I did watch Savage Skies a lot, like the tornado episode of Savage Skies. I used to call it Cabbage Pies because I used to think I was like really edgy and hilarious when I was like 5. Hello, Buffness. I'm your favourite YouTuber. Thank you. I'll take that as a massive compliment and assume that I'm somehow not the algorithm hasn't glitched. I'm somehow the only YouTuber who shows up on your feed. Let's close this distance down. We've closed down quite a bit. Oh look, it's only moving 28 miles an hour, so at least it's not moving 50. It's like half the speed it would otherwise be. Right, we're gonna have to do some off-roading here. How much money have I got? Can I afford any upgrades? Don't think I can. Right, let's go south. Let's get ahead of it, at least on the north-south axis. We can get ahead of it to the south. Wow, that thing's a lot more intimidating than the last tornado. Come on, go, 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 go. I was actually thinking of doing a limited edition run of like a physically packaged version of the game. So it'd be like cardboard sleeve, possibly burnt to a CD, but also with like a what do you call it, like a Steam key inside on like a scratch off card. I was considering it, but the cost it would take to do, I don't know if it would end up costing a lot more than just buying the game on Steam. I've considered doing like a physical version of the game. Because sometimes it's nice to hold something physically in your hands I own rather than something digital. Got unlucky with the roads, yeah I did on this chase. But it's just like real life, like they were just talking about the chase, was it Wisconsin, Minnesota, where they were saying where they were expecting tornadoes was known to be like a terrible place to try and chase. There's like no road network and it's all like mountainous and full of trees. So sometimes it happens in real life. You get a good tornado, bad road network, good road network but no tornadoes. Like it's just like real life. It adds some of that variation to it. So, because if you just got a big F5 wedge every time and you got a million samples and upgraded on your first chase, there'd be no reason to come back and play the game again. So there's still some degree of challenge with each playthrough. I was gonna take that right, but I might as well take the next right, and then we could probably go for an intercept. And then we can, once I think I've slowed it down to below 30 miles an hour, I'll just enable all chemicals and we'll see what this thing does. Still wondering whether I should send a copy of this to Sean Whalen or not. Do understand he acted in a movie 30 years ago and tornadoes aren't going to be the foremost thing on his mind. But I don't know, maybe he'll appreciate the gesture. I imagine he's probably not much into gaming, because his acting career is still very active. I just made a pun there, I didn't even mean to. Right. Quick deploy. I'm going to escape off-road, and then we're going to go south here and try and intercept again. Wow. It's so big it doesn't even fit on the camera. Right. That's a very unfortunate placement of a tractor. Let's head, let's head southwest. There we go. Oh, it looks like it's turned and it's coming directly towards us now. But that's at 26 miles an hour. We're doing 46. We're outpacing it by 20. As long as it doesn't hunt, we'll be safe. Whoa, that looked cool. All those bales of hay getting picked up. I think I should maybe try another intercept. How is the probe doing? Oh, it's making good progress. I think. Right, let's just go north here. Right, slowing its ground speed right down. Let's flip a UE, and we're going to go quick recall, quick deploy, and then I'm going to drive south as quickly as I can before we get picked up by this thing, because that's F4, probably verging on the edge of F5. I don't like having the camera too far from the engine, whoops, because I like hearing the engine noise. It's like, in real life I drive a car, it's 1 litre engine, 3 cylinders. It doesn't sound impressive at all. I like the proper engine sound. Right, is it below 20? Wow, look at that. Alright, I think this is time to turn the headlights off. Time for another stream thumbnail. Let's zoom out a bit. Oh, I can't quite see the 20. Let's just stop, let it catch up with us purposefully a bit. We get outside of the precipitation. Yeah, let's just get that. Quick recall, okay, where's the intercept point? Maybe we should plan for an intercept down here. Any towns we need to worry about? Not for a while. Okay, it's below 20 miles an hour. So I think we now enable every chemical. Maybe accept that, we don't want it standing still. We've got plenty of temperature data now. So let's say all the chemicals accept that. And see what we end up with. Let's find a reference point. Let's use the left-hand side of this. Power flash is quite helpful there, contrasted against... Look, this has gone high precipitation. Look, you can barely even see behind the trees over there. Is it moving slightly to the right? Oh, directly in the path. Do manual deployment. Wow, that was bright. Right, let's close the tailgate. Let's get out of here. We're gonna have to escape off-road slightly. Make the tail clouds bigger, more obvious, depending on the size of the tornado. Yeah, I could maybe do that in the next update. I think I'm quite happy with how this one's going. So I think I'll push this update tonight, and then for the next update, add the look inversion. Yeah, I get what you mean. A bigger wall cloud should have a more prominent tail cloud as well. Or at least have the possibility of it. Where's the road? There it is. Right, let's just watch it from the probe's point of view. Let's get an F1 data. Let's look at the data page. How close are we to the next set of chemicals being released? This is looking good for a screenshot. Oh, perfect! Even accidentally got a lightning strike in there. Look, we almost got a dead man walking there. Look, there's his left leg or right leg, depending on which way he's walking. Adding interiors, adding power outages. Oh yeah, I could do it. I do want to have. I think I mentioned on the last stream. Oh, you're gonna watch this thing get wider. I have like suburban homes, so I do want to add like the option to go into the interior and try and shelter inside of them. Is that coming straight towards us? Okay, let's get in the truck. Do quick recall. Quick deploy. That's starting to get really difficult to see. Let's escape a bit further south. Oh, probe stuck to the truck. One sec. That can happen because it's got a little bit of logic, so that once it's in the bed of the truck, it stays put so it doesn't just tip out when you drive around a corner. But if you reverse and make the tail, like the bed of the truck touch it, sometimes it latches on incorrectly. So I kind of just mentioned this, I'll have to make this the last tornado I chase, so I've got time to push the update. Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, let me remember to fix that, because you don't want to be able to kill yourself by just doing this repeatedly. Oh, yeah, in the dark here, you can see there's some missing textures. Should be a way of fixing that without having to redo the whole truck. Oh, that looks nice. How's the probe doing? Is it turning away from the probe again? Getting F3 strength wins though. How close are we to the next set? I'm going to take... actually no, let's try to get as much data as I can. I want to earn a lot of money. Whoa! I like that. I think I'm just going to... What I'm going to do is I'm not going to talk for a couple of minutes. I'm going to disable the HUD and just clip this. Oh! I don't know what happened there. I have to investigate that. The game just paused for a second and then quit to the main menu. Oh, I know what it was. I turned the HUD off. I must have ran out of health and died. Yeah, no, there wasn't a crash. So it died, but because the HUD was off, I didn't see my health going down, and then would have also not seen the "You've died" text. Maybe I need to add like an audible warning when your health starts getting low to avoid that again. But I don't think that's a game-breaking bug. It's a shame I've lost all that data, but had one heck of a chase. I feel like it was a really fun chase. So yeah, I think I'll push this update tonight. I will add more improvements to the tail clouds, and as promised, add the look-in version for the controller. And then yeah, I'll see you all again on another stream soon. All have a brilliant evening or morning or afternoon wherever you are, and keep your eyes out for the update. It should be out in the next 10-20 minutes.